Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 798. Title of today's lesson is the difference between burn the midnight oil, do or pull an all-nighter, stay up late, and stay up all night. Okay, so let's look at the first one here. To burn the midnight oil means to stay up much later than usual working or studying. So 2 points here is that you stay up a lot later than your bedtime, and it has to be for something more serious like working or studying. All right. Here's an example. I usually go to bed around 11 p.m., but I had to burn the midnight oil studying to prepare for a test. I didn't get to bed until after 3 a.m. So you did get some sleep. You didn't stay up the whole night, but you did lose sleep. You had to burn the midnight oil. Okay, and remember, if it's too close to your usual time, you probably wouldn't use it. So if you normally stay up till 11 p.m. and now it was just 11:30 or 12, that's still too close. You just, in this case, you would just say that you stayed up a little late, or that's about it. But it has to be considerably, like at least several hours. Then you're saying that you burn the midnight oil. All right, let's continue. Now let's look at to pull or do an all-nighter. Now this means to stay up all night studying or working. Now this was the original meaning. Like when I was in university, we mostly used it for this. We didn't really use it for entertainment. But nowadays, I guess the definition has extended, and you can use it here as a second way to stay up the whole night at a party or an event. When I was young, it wasn't used that way, but now it is. Some dictionaries say that's acceptable now. All right, let's continue. So we got several examples for this one. He had to do an all-nighter last night trying to get a term paper finished so it wouldn't be late. He didn't get a wink of sleep. So again, didn't get any sleep at all. Again, this is for the more serious one, students doing schoolwork or studying. Second one, he pulled an all-nighter last night trying to get a project finished on time. It was due the next day. So it can also be used for people at work, if they had to lose a night of sleep too, to make sure something was in on time, it was not late. So they could also pull or do an all-nighter too. Let's continue. All right, we did an all-nighter last night. The party lasted until the sun rose the next day. Then we had breakfast and went home and crashed. Well, when we say you crash, it's probably because you're so tired that you stayed awake the whole night that you just kind of fall into a deep sleep right away. That's what we mean by that. All right, so this would be the one that's, the extended meaning now, where you might be able to use it for something that's like more fun or entertainment. So you might still be able to use this for all-nighter, but we wouldn't use burn the midnight oil for something that was fun or some form of entertainment. All right, so we'll just look at this. This could be one possible mistake that a student could make. I burnt the midnight oil watching a baseball game that went 20 innings. No, you wouldn't say that because that's more for entertainment. That's more for fun. You'd never use to burn the midnight oil in that way. And so instead you should say, I stayed up very late last night watching a baseball game. So you can always say stay up late. That just means stay up later than usual. Of course, you could also say stay up all night instead of saying to do or pull an all-nighter as well. Okay, anyway, I hope you got a better feel of when you should use these terms and when not to. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.